Wait. Before you dislike this video, please hear me out. I know Anohana has been out for a while now, but only recently have I seen it. I'm not making this video because I like hating on popular series. No, I actually genuinely wanted to enjoy the series. This video is simply me explaining and ranting why I personally think Anohana is overrated. And everything in this video is my personal opinion. And to be honest, one of the reasons why I didn't make this video a lot sooner is because I don't remember most of the things that happened, in which episodes the events happened. And I don't remember most of the characters' names despite watching it recently. I actually had to search up some of the names, and I actually had to skim through the entire anime. I still think it's a pretty decent show, but in my opinion, it was extremely overrated and boring at times. But I'll do my best to explain my opinions. If you finish the video and still hate me, then feel free to dislike. But I just want to be given the chance to explain myself, okay? So, first of all, almost everyone I hear says Anohana is super good, or sad. A very good sad anime. All my friends, some of my favorite YouTubers say it too. And so I had naturally assumed it has to be good. Because, well, I mean, everyone else says it's good, so it has to be, right? And before watching this, I had seen a couple other sad animes, like Your Name, A Silent Voice, and a bunch of others. And I liked them. I thoroughly enjoyed them. So I had high hopes for Anohana. And maybe too high, in fact. So the first complaint and opinion I have on this anime is it's sort of unrealistic. I don't know if that's the right word to explain it, but I'll just use that word for now. In grade 6, Menma died, and Jinta and all his friends were very sad. Understandable. However, even after 5 years, they're still depressed on it, and that feels sort of weird. By then, you'd think a normal person would have gotten over it, at least a little, and they were kids at that time. In grade 6, I was an idiot. I was a heartless little demon. And like hell, I can barely remember what happened last year in my life. Yet these guys are still mourning after 5 goddamn years. And you might say I'm a little insensitive. People get sad after losing a loved one. And I get that. But for 5 whole years? To be honest, if Menma didn't show up, they'd probably still be mourning after like 10 to 20 years. I'm pretty young myself, and 5 years just seems like a long time to me. And it also might be because I just cannot relate. I personally have never lost anyone I really loved or cared about, so I may not be able to understand the feeling of losing something like that. And I'm glad I can't relate, and I hope I never will. But for the me right now in this current moment, watching the show, it felt very weird. And it may be because of that weirdness I felt that I didn't like any of the characters. Maybe besides the dad, he's cool. I get that all the characters are supposed to be flawed and they're supposed to develop, but I just didn't like any of them. That doesn't mean I hate them, I just did not like them. And I'm pretty sure Anohana is a character-driven show, where the characters and the development is the best part of the show. But since I didn't like any of the characters, I did not enjoy the series. It's weird seeing people I don't care about cry and become emotional. I also didn't like Menma either. She just showed up out of nowhere. And I could go on and on about why I dislike her, but I'm not. Because it's just nitpicking her, and it's just simply a personal opinion that I don't like her. And I just really don't care about her that much. The only 2 characters I liked even a little was the dad and Popo. Popo was a goofy guy, and he was funny. And the dad was really caring and kind. But even so, that just wasn't enough for me to like the show. I also did think it was kind of slow paced. I get it's supposed to be that way, and I'm fine with slow moving series. But I felt as if there was nothing entertaining me during the show. And I just felt myself bored most of the time because I wasn't invested in any of the characters. In my personal opinion, I think it would be better if they shortened the series a bit and sped up some of the scenes. They just felt too dragged out. Also, while watching the anime, the entire time I was annoyed. Menma was able to physically touch and move objects, even if others can't see her, right? It just pissed me off that when the others started arguing and shouting at Jinta how the Menma he sees is only an illusion, but Menma could have easily proven to them all wrong, and that she was actually real by lifting an object in front of them. It took 8 episodes before she finally proved to everyone that she actually existed and not just an illusion. I get she doesn't want to be a burden, but her being there is already causing trouble to Jinta and the entire group. So you might as well just prove to the others that you're there so you can stop the fighting. Like, it just seriously had to take over half the series to prove that you're actually real. I just think she should have shown herself a bit earlier. It took 8 whole episodes. That's over half the series. She had many situations and opportunities before this that would have been perfect for her to reveal herself, but she just didn't. There's also that whole situation with Yukiatsu and how he was cross-dressing as Menma, which was weird. I let that slide because he eventually became a normal person again. But at the time watching it, it was a little odd considering the fact that he liked her in grade 6. And now he's in high school. So kinda weird in my opinion. My final complaint about the series is episode 6, which is more of a personal complaint. Well, everything I mentioned in this video is a personal complaint. But this episode is even worse for me personally. In episode 6, Jinta goes to school. Okay, pretty cool. He's going back to school. But when he goes to school, everyone is talking about Naruko and spreading rumors and stuff. And Jinta decides to do something about it. He jumps out of nowhere and starts shouting to defend Naruko. This part made me cringe so hard. Well, cringe might not be the right word. I think it's more like secondhand embarrassment. I'm a pretty introverted guy. I don't like attention too much. And so when I see him doing this, I died on the inside. I could not watch that part. I just had to pause the episode and took a deep breath. I'm not good with this kind of stuff. I do not like attention at all. And this just made me die. I just died. Well, these are my reasons why I think Anohana is overrated. I just don't think Anohana is the right series for me. It's decent, but nowhere near as good as people say. I didn't even tear up once. Every time someone mentions Anohana, I'm always that one guy who thinks it's so overrated, but no one seems to agree with me. But if I had one thing I had to admit, the music and soundtrack is pretty good. The song during the parting scene made me sad, even though I didn't care about any of the characters. The music alone made me feel emotions, while the entire series didn't. Anyways, thanks for watching, I guess. I hope you don't hate me, and hopefully you agree, or at least understand with one of my takes, please.